I said, hell yeah, I want a motherfucking ride. Listen, I don't fly private. I never have. But this year I did. I have a very fancy friend who had a very fancy jet for the day and said, I'm going to New York City for Labor Day weekend, want to ride. It's funny because I was actually going there anyway for my good friend Funke's birthday, but I was going to be leaving about like 2 days after. So once I realized that I was gonna get by the way, I'd already bought my damn ticket, United, but they give flight credits. So I'm like, okay, yeah. I didn't ask what kind of jet it was. I just said, listen, who cares what kind of jet it was? It's private. And I'd never done the experience before, and it's always kind of been on my bucket list. In fact, it was on my 2022 vision board. And not so much the riding private, but just being at a place where I can, you know, do things that are kind of unnecessary and kind of just out of convenience because I had worked hard enough to afford myself that luxury. But they give flight credits. So I'm like, okay, yeah. I didn't ask what kind of jet it was. I just said, listen, who cares what kind of jet it was? It's private. And I'd never done the experience before, and it's always kind of been on my bucket list. In fact, it was on my 2022 vision board. And not so much the riding private, but just being at a place where I can, you know, do things that are kind of unnecessary and kind of just out of convenience because I had worked hard enough to afford myself that luxury. So that was kind of the representation of, you know, a private jet being on my vision board. And lo and behold, I get, you know, offered to be on the private plane. And so I am going to just give you the tour. I am going to do a voiceover because let's be very, very honest. I don't know much about like private jets. I'm just now getting into it. The things that I review when it comes to planes have to do more with the aesthetics, more with the comfort, more with the crew service, the cabin service, and just the airline as a whole in terms of handling your departures and arrivals and, you know, customer service and things like that. I'm gonna just play it back. Check it out. Guys, it's literally been forever. I think it's been 6 months actually since I actually shot this video. So I even had to look up what kind of plane it was. It's a Falcon 50EX. And so this is just a shot from outside. I pulled up in my Uber 2 minutes before takeoff, guys. Crazy. Getting on the, like, the pilot was there, greeted me, said, give me your stuff, threw it in the back. We got on the board. There are a total of 100 of these in the world. Okay, it seats 9 but can sit up to 10, and it is classified as a moderate-sized jet. It has 3 engines, guys. It is super fast. It can go 3,200 miles.
The engine controls, so we're full power right now, telling us where those are right there. This is our map. This is how we're 41,000 feet. Our speed and attitude. And this is how we control where we go on the map.
What's that?
This?
That and then the thrust reverser, what does that mean?
Okay, so this is the speed brakes that are on the wings, so they will help slow us down in descents if we need to slow down faster. These are our flat controls, which keep the airplane, allow the airplane to be in a steady state at a slower speed. And then the thrust reverser is actually on the front here, and we use that to slow down when we're on the runway after we land.
Oh, thrust reverser.
Yeah, so it reverses the thrust, slows us down without using brakes. These are our radios. Now we talk to our air traffic controllers. And this is how I steer the airplane on the ground. How we steer the airplane in the air.
Pressurization selector, and then you can tell our cabin's at 7,000 feet.
So we're at 41,000, but the cabin inside's at 7,000.
So we're at 41,000 feet.
But the inside of the cabin was kept at 7,000.
7,000.
As if we're at 7,000.
Okay, look at that. I appreciate it.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so back to the tour. You know I had to get a nice close-up on these interiors, right? The seats were so comfortable. They reclined, like not in the traditional way, like in the way where the part where you're sitting at kind of moves forward, and then you can recline that way. I'm sitting towards the back of the plane. My good friend is lying on the sofa that seats 3 ordinarily, but it can turn into a couch. And right up above her are some windows, and then near her head is the bathroom. Okay, so back to the actual flight. So you do bring your own food, but they do have one flight attendant to help dish out your stuff. I was clearly dishing out my own champagne, and when you're on a flight with no one else who drinks, you pour your own mimosas, and you free pour, and you probably pour too much. Anyhow, I did some editing and just kind of chilled back in the front of the plane. There were only 5 of us, so I was able to move around quite a bit. So I had some coffee and tea and just kind of relaxed for the rest of the trip. It was really smooth and all around a really, really good experience. I'm just gonna say it was 5 stars. It's one of those things that just kind of comes on a whim. It's not something I do regularly at all. Maybe somebody will be inspired to dream a little bit big and do a vision board like I do, and see what can happen. Thanks everybody. See you next time.